With the release of the final shape and prismatic subclass within Destiny 2, we actually have the entire suite of prismatic fragments at our disposal. To get these fragments, you're going to have to progress through the campaign, and there's a couple secret puzzles that you're going to have to do and continue along post-campaign with some quest lines and gathering some consumables on your way through them. But let's start off with the 5 secret chests around the patrol area. First fragment we're going to be looking on how to get is going to be the Facet of Grace. You can obtain this by killing a couple waves of enemies, basically right when you leave the Lost City through the War Room. And once you're out there, you're going to be in an area where you did a pretty early campaign mission. There's going to be 3 areas that are separated by a little bit of jumping platforms. You're going to want to turn to your right as you come out from the War Room area. Enter the building that's down there. This is where you're going to find the prismatic chest that you need to unlock to open for the fragment. And also in this area, you're going to find a couple of enemies that you need to kill. This enemy being the Gordian Weaver. Kill that, and you're going to see the first omen has been defeated in the text bar above your buffs. Once you see that text, you're going to go back out to that middle hub area and essentially maintaining the reference frame of coming out from the War Room area, turn left, go down there. There's going to be a similar group of enemies with a Gordian Weaver. Kill them. Once you see that that omen has been defeated, return to the middle area. Then a little bit towards the original side you went on, in the back right is going to be another area you can go kill another Gordian Weaver. Once you defeat this Gordian Weaver, return to the middle area. There's going to be a bunch of enemies, including a shielded tormentor and a couple enemies called Bound Omen. If you kill the Bound Omens, the tormentor is going to become unshielded, and then once you defeat the tormentor is going to drop the key for you, and you can head on back to that original side and open up the chest for your fragment. Continuing left on the map, the next fragment that we're going to be looking at and obtaining is the Facet of Mending. This can be obtained by finding 4 lost ghosts along your path all the way down to the beach. And they're really easy to find. All you have to do is pull out your ghost, and as you get close enough to the lost ghost, your ghost is going to turn around and start pointing exactly to where you need to go. The first ghost can be found up on a railing in the little town square. Now this will say the final ghost in my case, because this happened to be the last ghost that we found, but this will be the first one that you need to grab as you make your way down, just so you don't have to backtrack at all as you make your way down to the chest. The next one you should grab is going to be underneath some stairs right at the start of the little jumping puzzle, just a hair further than the first ghost that you just picked up. It's going to be on a little blue box. The next ghost can be found once you get through the little tunnel building at the end of that jumping puzzle. Once you get through it and you're on the winding pathway, just turn around and jump up on top of the metal grates, and it's going to be on a little metal jut out of the wall, and you can see it resting up on top. The last ghost is going to be just before you get down to the beach where the chest actually is. There's going to be a cave with a giant metal yellow structure leaning across it. You climb on that metal structure, go towards the big circle part of it. There's going to be a ghost laying on the beam. My teammate did pick it up, so you can't see me picking it up here, but it will be at the end of the beam where I'm showing in the video. Once you have all 4 ghosts, there's going to be a plate that you need to stand on, sort of by the chest, and just defeat waves of enemies while you charge up that plate. Eventually, a big enemy is going to spawn. You're going to need to take them out. This enemy being the Enlightened Harbinger. Once they are dead, you can grab the key, open up the chest, and get your Facet of Mending. The next fragment you can unlock is the Facet of Justice. You can find this in the caves of the refraction area as you're making your way from the landing. Just stick to the left side as you enter the cave systems, and you can find the room in the back. You've been there a couple times for some missions. In this room, there's going to be 3 hive symbols floating in the back, and there's going to be a solar crystal up on top that you're going to need to drag around and dunk in a corresponding area. Now, if you have a friend to do this with, it's going to make it a lot easier because one person can just sit in the middle and call out where everything is. If you're doing it solo, you're going to have to pick up the crystal and quickly look and memorize where things are before the symbols disappear. But from there, all you need to do is go top to bottom on the symbols and match up the cauldron to dunk the solar crystal in. Once you have done this for all 3 symbols, a bunch of enemies are going to spawn and eventually a Bound Harbinger. Once you take this enemy out, it's going to drop the key that you need for the chest sitting in the middle of the room, and you can get your Facet of Justice. Continuing to move right across the map, we're going to end up in the Divide looking for the Facet of Command. start this puzzle, across from the chest, you're gonna jump through some squares in the wall, and there's gonna be a console you can interact with to spawn a Scorch Cannon. Then what you're gonna need to do with this Scorch Cannon is go around the area, shooting all of these different ice crystals and freeing some orbs that are inside, and freeing 2 receptacles that are in the room where you spawn the Scorch Cannon, and you're gonna be dunking these orbs into those receptacles. Now there's 3 different types of orbs. There's Arc, Solar, and Void, and each one was worth a different amount of charge for the receptacles. So you're gonna need to fill both of these to a certain amount, that being full for each of them, so you can look at the little segments as you're depositing them. For us, our Arc orbs were worth 2, our Solar orbs were worth 3, and our Void orbs were worth 4 charge on these receptacles. The ice crystals that you need to shoot with the Scorch Cannon, they're found very far up and down the hallway, so don't be afraid to venture far up and down those halls to find the crystals. But a good thing to note is once you do break the orbs out of the crystals, they're not really going to despawn, so you can just leave them there and they're going to show up on the map. So if you're playing with any friends, they can go and just see exactly where they are and pick them up. Then like these other puzzles, once you have filled up those 2 receptacles to max power each, a bunch of enemies are going to start spawning outside of that room, and eventually a subjugator of control. Take out that subjugator, pick up the key, and you can go ahead and open the chest for your Facet of Command. The 5th and final fragment that we can get doing these chest puzzles is going to be the Facet of Defiance. This can be found in the transgression area of the map. Once you get all the way down into the cave, that's where you're going to find the chest, and in the middle of that cave is going to be a darkness crystal that you can activate, and that's going to actually start the puzzle. Upon activating this, there's going to be a few immune guys that spawn and a couple acolyte eyes that spawn. What you're going to need to do is go around the cave and shoot all of the different acolyte eyes, and once you destroy all the acolyte eyes on that wave, the enemies are going to be not immune anymore. You can destroy them, and you're going to do that a few times, and these eyes can spawn anywhere basically in that cave. So in that main hub around the actual locked chest and through the actual cave system that led you there, they're going to spawn everywhere in there. Just run around, find them until all of the different waves are done. And then, like always, there's going to be another big fight at the very end, and there's going to be a tormentor that spawns. Upon defeating the tormentor, he's going to drop the key to unlock the chest. Make sure you go to exactly where the tormentor died, as the key drops right there. It's not going to go straight into your inventory. So once you pick that up, you can turn around and go ahead and open the chest and grab your Facet of Defiance. Now the next 3 secret fragments are going to come from missions within the campaign, specifically the final 3 missions. These are going to be the Facet of Bravery, the Facet of Devotion, and the Facet of Sacrifice. For Bravery, you're going to want to load into the Ascent mission, and this one is not too far into it. Just progress along until you get to the snowy cliffside and you start seeing the remnants of a plane crash. You're going to pass this on the main path up. Once you see the part of the plane, go ahead and drop down to the right, and there's going to be another part of the plane stuck in the side of the cliff, and the chest is going to be right in the middle of that plane part. Then the Facet of Devotion is going to come from the Descent mission. This is going to be pretty later on within the mission. You're going to have to fight to the boss, the Pillar of Devotion. Once you defeat that boss, right when you are walking away from the arena, just progress forward and look for this shiny purple wall. Run at that wall, and behind a pillar and between that wall is going to be a chest with the Facet of Devotion in it. Finally, the Facet of Sacrifice is going to be in the Iconoclasm mission. This is also going to be fairly towards the end. Once you get to the part of the mission where you jump up the wall, jumping puzzle, the big giant wall with the orange lines in it, once you're at the top and you can see the panorama of the landscape behind you, go down the hallway, you're going to see a cut up war beast in the middle of the room. Turn to the left, go into that room, and there's going to be a light up on the wall. You're going to want to jump into the area with that light. Follow down the corridor, drop down, and in between these darkness roots is going to be a chest for you with the Facet of Sacrifice inside. At this point, we're going to have 5 fragments left. These are going to come from these memory fragments that you're going to find doing various activities. You can get to these by doing the chest restorations in the overthrow areas. These are just chests around the overthrow area. They're each going to have a specific puzzle with them. Complete the puzzle, and when you open up the chest, you're going to get a fragment piece. You're going to collect 5 of these, and that's going to give you one of the purple variants, and it's going to tell you exactly where to go on the map. And there's going to be a prismatic chest hidden around, and you can open that up and get a fragment. And then for the final 3, you're essentially doing the same thing but for light fragments. You will easily get these just by doing the Micah 10 quests, the Alone in the Dark quest line. Follow along with that. As you are doing those missions, you're going to be killing enemies that drop the fragments that you need for those pieces. Once again, when you get the purple variant, it's going to tell you exactly on the map where to go. Search around in that little circle and you will find the different chests. You can open them up and get your final 3 fragments.
Just a quick editor note, for a lot of people, myself included, the memory vestige light can become bugged. If this happens to you, delete your stacks until you have 4. And then the 5th will give you memory seclusions of light. To get light drops, I found that running the Sword Dance Cyst mission, which is accessed by the landing drop zone, was the best bet. As soon as you killed the wizard or ogre, it was almost a guaranteed drop.
From the darkness chest, you can get to the Facet of Honor and the Facet of Solitude. And then from the 3 light ones, you can get the Facet of Generosity, Facet of Dominance, and the Facet of Awakening. Yeah, that's how you find all of the extra prismatic fragments within Destiny 2, the final shape. Hopefully you found this video helpful. Let me know down in the comments which prismatic class you've been enjoying the most. Hunter, Titan, or Warlock. I personally have been loving the Hunter with Celestial Nighthawk and the Still Hunt Exotic Sniper Rifle. It's just felt so good on the Prismatic subclass, and overall it's been a blast to play so far. But let me know down in the comments which one you've been enjoying most. But anyways, thank you for watching this far in the video. I really do appreciate it. But anyways, I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next video. See ya.